it's the cost and the fact that although this would be very important to have, we don't even have a park district building that is big enough to house our park district employees. And with the amount of money going into it, and then some, some more interesting things that I wasn't aware of, that we would be responsible for half the cost of the sidewalk and lights that are already going off. And the fact that we would be actually paying, and this I did understand when I brought it up at last month's meeting, that we would be personally actually helping. You've got the park over here, you've got St. John's Church over here, and you've got the parking lot in between. So we'd be helping to pay for a parking lot that services the church.
It would also service the park.
But there's a question there, and my concern was you could just see the headlines. Park District paves the way for St. John's parking lot.
I think people will see it that way when they know that the church donated land for us to put parking, and we're sharing a parking lot. It's called a partnership.
Sure.
I don't follow that.
And that is why I voted with at the last, meeting. But we didn't have all of the, some of the facts regarding the sidewalks and lighting. More is coming up on this, and that concerns me greatly. I think it's great for us to do this talk. I would like to have Mr. Kavanaugh's opinion on this. I know Matt weighed in on a private meeting. Do you think that there is any conflict there?
I think there could be an issue, but to be honest with you, Ms. Solowski, I don't know for sure.
I don't mean to throw you under the bus, Cam, but that was already all planned out, the development and how the costs were going to be shared.
Right, we're not sharing the cost of the lights along Dragon Road for the parking lot. We were gonna, and it's indicated in the list, that we were gonna pay our portion of the sidewalk that goes in front of the park.
Right.
And connects up to our existing park site on Brookside. And sharing the cost of the parking lot that's gonna be on our property.
Yeah, just reiterate what Aaron just mentioned about the layout of the land and size and just the geographic location in regards to convenience for the community itself to get to that location. It's just a bad location in regards to getting the best bang for the community in regards to utilizing the park and putting so much money into an infrastructure of park equipment would be more wisely used if we start concentrating on building out a park and designing it well in regards to being utilized throughout the community by all, by working on looking at a field house that we haven't had since the get-go of this park district system. We need some indoors, arrangements to be planned out and worked out to take care of winter conveniences for children. So I think the money that's been wasted here in regards to, looking at these matters should have been caught and really rectifying the matters in regards to how we're getting the best bang on, taxpayers' money and for the community in whole. In this case here, it doesn't look like it's holding its reading water in regards to the matter. But in regards to dance, that's where I would like to see this thing totally removed off the table and concentrate on building some kind of indoor field house. And in regards to taking kids during winter time when all the outdoor facilities are shut down, they have some kind of indoor facility and continuing with that kind of concept for the betterment for the kids through the winter months.
I should know that Canton Farm Road is a very well-traveled road that runs through a main part of our district, and I don't see how it would be inconvenient convenient to get to it. It's not like it's tucked behind the subdivision where you got to drive through residential streets to get to it. And if we're so concerned about a building, then why are we spending money on logos and vehicles and things of that nature? I'm not following, and I really think this is
Yeah, we're gonna rate on the vehicles, you gotta have vehicles to do the maintenance, vehicles that fall apart, you have to replace them. In regards to the logo, it's not costing anything, the only thing that's coming across with cost, let me reiterate is that we're not changing everything out. The old style is still gonna be there until we run out of product, then we work on the new logo coming up on the new product, so I don't see where we're wasting money.
So I think the message is out there in the community that if you want a partnership with the park district, there's a chance that it could all go away. So how many chances are we going to get to have more partnerships with the community? They're giving us land for a park. We're spending money on parking for this facility. This has been in the works for years. And we're saying, no, sorry, you spent money. Too bad. I don't understand that either.
And if we're worried about saving money, why would we scrap a project that's already been engineered and planned, is in the development stages? All the money we've spent so far is just going to be thrown away.
Well, the point is, it's a bad idea in regards to not getting into church and state matters, in regards to also leasing, you are in conflict.
There is no conflict. It's a partnership. It's a written agreement.
No,
There's no
you have a lease.
conflict.
You have a lease.
Yeah, lease. It's
You
a
know,
lease.
it's not a given property, it's a lease. What?
And they're donating to us.
It's not donating when you have a lease.
It is.
Did you read the agreement?
Yes, I did, inside and out.
Hey,
You know, we build it, then they'll hand it over, they don't accept it, and they decide not to, you know, like I said, the lease, we're wasting our money on top of it. By putting $1 million of items
This
in
is
it.
a union contract. So it's not like we could develop the park and they can pull the rug out and say, it's our land, it's ours.
It's nice to lay out, the camera lay out in front of itself, but the parking is not enough.
Especially St. John's.
It's not enough parking in that location. There's only one entrance to the park.
A lot of parking showing here.
Can I ask a question?
Let me, Cameron, how much parking lot, how much parking space you iterated? It was what, 45 or 50?
45 or 50.
For the initial build out, and then for the initial build out, and then once the church.
That was
is built.
the parking area that was on the acres that were going to be built.
Right.
And then the
Once the
church
church
was
is
built
built.
out, we would be utilizing their lot.
And yes, do you know how many ultimate spots at figures to me here, like it'd be over 100?
Want to speak?
Sure.
Yeah. You know, I would assume that the park board has examined the plat of this development.
Oh, don't assume.
And the parking lot in question is going to be on the permanently owned land of the park district. And its use will be, and it's at the extreme north of the site. There will be 200 other spots eventually built. The church will be on the corner. And at best, that lot will be the remote lot of the church. And we will probably not be using it for 10 years, other than to come out for a picnic now and again. You know, I'd heard, you know, through staff there was some questions about the cost and who would bid it. But I'd never been approached to discuss the details of any of this, nor to amend it or look for a way out. I think it's very, very clear that the intention is to donate close to 4 acres to the park district, including the parking lot in question permanently. The lease is for $1 a year on all that 14 acres of land. And when the park is developed, the 4 acres is to go to the park district permanently. And if it's not developed for 11 years, the property reverts back to the church. And that's what the lease says. And so that if we had to iron out the facts and the details or amend this, that's why I wish you would have called. And we're still willing to talk about things like that. And I understand there's priorities of, you know, I haven't lived near Renwick Park, but there's been some on the board forever for the facility. I would also say that that facility is probably in the several $1 million
Right.
cost, and that this park was probably at $1 million, half of which was gonna come from the state. And the land and a good number of the development costs coming from St. John Lutheran Church. And that to me seems like very, very cost-efficient way to develop a park. That's where we're at.
Because a building would be substantially more than $1 million
Right.
at the end of the day, you know, everything's set up. So, and this offered an inline hockey rink, which there is a demand for, I hear it. The only ones around here are in Naperville on Weber Road and on Airport Road in Romeoville Park District. The community would like something like this. We don't offer it in our district right now. I'm sorry, you haven't wanted to speak.
Well, you talked about,
I think, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you talked about, it not being feasible. Where in South Plainfield, near Plainfield South High School, would you be willing to put a facility comparable to this? Because there is a nice big park, Northwest Community Park in North Plainfield. There is Renwick Park and things located in Central Plainfield. But South Plainfield does not have anything as substantial as North and Central Plainfield. There is a lot of people living in that vicinity that aren't able to access those parks on a regular basis. The kids can't.
Let me interrupt you. We have about 80 acres of land around Ridge Road and Walker, and that's one of the plans we're going to have for the.
Right, when is that going to be
Yeah.
developed?
So this whole thing ties into that we're trying to
Where?
save $1 million to put in the recreation center. That's all I did. So thank you very much for that.
That was my question, because I didn't know if there was anything
Sure.
on the
Yeah,
south side.
we have properties in the south, maybe around Ridge Road and Walker Road. Is that something?
It's not
that we
developed.
plan to do in the future?
It's not developed. It's not a
It's not
park.
developed.
It's not a park.
There
no.
isn't.
Thank you.
My understanding was that was going to be farm baseball fields. At one time, that was the
Well,
plan for
yeah,
that.
that one time.
And so that would not be comparable to this.
Well, like,
This
that's
is a
what.
golden opportunity.
So has that changed?
Well, it has to change it.
Are we dedicating money to that facility now?
No, we have not dedicated money to the facility yet, but, we need to start thinking about a recreation center. Something that we can all use year round. So that's something we need to do, and, obviously, we don't want to increase the taxes for that. So we have to figure out how we can, have this new facility, if we ever do something like that, without increasing taxes. So we need to start saving money.
Oh, I just wanted to ask Mary Kay and Larry on this, because I'm sort of betwixt and between. I agree, I have a feeling that, this was all started previously. And it's very, I think it's something that's great for the community. And then I'm also thinking, because I keep thinking about a new district facility, and which is really, really sorely needed, really, really needed. You know that. And the question is, because it just comes up against the money issue over here. What are your thoughts on how we're going to do something for a district facility? I really want to know what you think. I'll start with either one of you.
Well, that's going to cost money we certainly do not have. That's the only reason we don't have one to date. The development of the house or facility at Renwick Community Park is not something we've ever been able to afford without having to ask for a referendum, and we've not wanted to do that. So it's something that's one of the reasons why in the past we've always tried to save money towards eventually going that route. Not that long ago, people were criticizing us for having money in the bank, and that was the reason for doing so.
Well, the Redmond facility has been in the plans for a long time, but like Mary Kay said, it's a facility that we obviously need a referendum to develop. That's in the works. Now, I'm assuming that we budgeted money for this project, did we not? Is that money gonna be rolled into some other project? Or we're just gonna,
Oh, you mean for the green portion?
this particular
No, we
facility?
have not budgeted for the green, the development.
Have we budgeted any other costs associated with this?
We have some money budgeted for the, like the engineering, that we've been sharing the costs and the development of the parking lot and the berms of the
So if we do nothing now from this point on, where does that money go?
We'll have to redesignate it to another project or save it. That's up to the board, what you want to do with that. In the, as far as the park plan goes, we could relook at, scaling that back to, so it's not $1 million project. But we don't have specific funds budgeted for the park development.
Because there was, I believe, the plan was to apply for a grant next year.
It would have been 2014, or possibly, 2015.
To finish the plans, if hopefully the grant was approved. Because usually you're successful.
Oh,
Your grant, yes.
And, it would probably score a lot more. I can't speak for DNR,
But it would, because it's serving an area of our district that is lacking, and it's offering some amenities that we don't even currently offer. Like when we did the splash pad, that was very easy to get the grant approved for, because we didn't have anything like that in Village Green.
The other issue is about the, this church and stage. How many years did we rent space from you in the past?
About 10 or 11 years.
Has there ever been a newspaper story about us supporting your church?
And we also,
And we directly paid you for space that we used at your church.
And the Methodist Church.
Right.
and the Methodist Church downtown, exactly, we've rented from both of you in the past for programming space.
Well, all I gotta say is what happened in the past is past. We're gonna look out for
We
the
know
future.
that. We know that.
We're not gonna have any partnerships in the future.
Well,
Is that
Or
what you
parks.
want?
there's partnerships all around in regards to, so we gotta look for messages all for all, not for a few. And that's my case right here, in regards to the matters.
This isn't a park for all, this offers a lot of different amenities.
You have a big community of over 200,000 people.
And nothing on the south side of Plainfield.
Indoor facility, it's been sidetracked for ages about why, where these monies could be set aside, it's that building of the facility that, it's a potential facility, and they should be a gem for Plainfield kids, their winter months. Why do we continue on building parks, not for weather, summer, in winter time, there's nothing to do.
I believe
We
that.
don't have, our pool's getting old, if they don't even have an indoor swimming pool.
It's a hockey game. I mean, as long as there's not, where they can't skate on it, that's a year-round thing, the hockey. As long as we don't have 3 feet of snow, like they had last year. People play hockey all year round. Hockey's not a warm weather sport typically.
Like I said, if you go to an indoor facility, you could have arrangements for indoor hockey, you can have arrangements for indoor soccer, football, swimming pools, Olympic-sized ski, running track, you name it.
Those are all nice things, and I agree with you.
And that's where you have to work on, or we all have to work on, in regards to getting the monies, the funds together, and make this happen.
But you're talking millions of dollars.
That's right, we're talking about wasting $1 million in regards to overbuilding an area, a small parcel of acreage, and causing major water runoff and causing major flooding, general location. The retention ponds not even big enough to handle, challenge anybody on that in regards to working with board engineers, in regards to retentions and footprints, stay away from grass.
That's all been engineered, the floodplain lines have all been looked at and engineered. They would not
face where the railroad flows.
This is not.
This is all, they all backs into the page. Thank you.
Poor South Plainfield.
Flooding issues before something's allowed to be built. That's a given from any municipality. They're not gonna say, go ahead and build, and then flood Brookside subdivision. They would never allow that, not to mention parkland is mostly green space.
So that's the reason why it floods are not base curve all the time, because the engineers are calculated properly.
That's a river, you're talking apples and oranges.
You know, it's not, it all flows into the lowest line body. So, anyway.
All right, any other discussions?
No.
Seal coating done, how are they gonna plan for this? Right. Good point. Why don't you guys talk to Pastor Homer and table it, get some more information, because it sounds very conflicted.
The right thing to do, invite the congregation, invite the neighbors
Right.
to a meeting. You should take.
Don't make a rush to make a bad decision.
It required 60-day notice, did you get it?
I don't think so. Should be tabled.
There was a flood. Right.
So the whole congregation would be,
Right.
would have known.
Right. Plus, we need to support
And the
South
neighbors.
Plainfield.
Please.
Get the facts on the flooding and stuff that Peter wants.
It's been already established.
Right, and it's already been approved.
Approved by the city of Joliet.
It's approved by the city of Joliet, but I know you don't like Joliet very much anymore, do you?
I'm sorry.
Nothing?
You know, I would like to know if it's been established, I don't know, to the city of Joliet and ask them for your opinion, because they would not approve something that's gonna be a flood.
Well, they gotta wait for Jan to get back and have her feet. Gotta wait for Jan to come back and feed him. Yeah. There she is.
President and staff, or the attorney to provide the 60-day notice required. That's the act.
All right, so we have a motion and then we have a second, we have the discussions. This resolution is to authorize the president, the staff, or our attorney to give the 60-day notice. It's not a termination quickly. So, do we have, a resolution